Hello everyone, welcome back for more Let's Play Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars, the Director's Cut. Joining me is Yorkshire Raven.
Hey, I'm Governor.
So let's see, I forget if this does anything right now. Yep, it's okay, it still takes us here. Which is not helpful in the least. However, our new location is somewhat helpful. A place with a whole bunch of flags out front.
Really no importance.
Yeah, we can go... Is that just the map again? Nope, that is the alley. Don't need the alley, not yet anyway. Go in, but we also have people to talk to out here.
Hey, people to bother.
Excuse me,
Yeah?
have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
No, I ain't. Don't tell me I missed him. Oh, that's too bad. I love the clowns, don't you?
I've seen daytime television that was funnier.
I love it when the little guys get hurt.
That figures.
Custard pies, hose pipe down the pants, then smack! A plank in the kisser.
You're a special boy, ain't you?
Are we talking clowns or are we talking the Three Stooges here?
Probably both.
You ever meet a guy called Plantar?
No, I ain't.
You missed your chance. If you're quick, you'll catch him at the coroner's.
Why do you go around volunteering this information?
Do you happen to know a guy named Khan?
That ain't nobody I know.
Eh.
Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
Is this a trick question?
No, I simply asked if you recognized him.
Okay then. Nope, I don't.
Uh-huh.
That is not a good idea.
I want to see what happens now.
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
Nope.
But you like the clowns.
Do you recognize this tissue? Think carefully now.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
I'm gonna have to hurry you.
ooh.
Time's up, so I'll tell you. It's a used tissue with a liberal dump of Bestheimer's number 12.
If you say so.
Shake my hand.
Nah.
Oh, rats.
Aw. We don't get to get punched out for shocking the guy.
Maybe next
See
time.
you later.
Maybe next
Not
time,
if you
yeah.
see me first.
Although, maybe the shock would help his mental speed.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Oh, this is a totally trustworthy individual.
Oh, he looks it.
Just look at that mustache.
What's your name, Dick Dastardly?
What is he, Proto-Waluigi here?
I'm looking for a clown.
Are you trying to be funny?
No, I really am looking for a clown.
There are no clowns here except you.
Kinda rude. I mean, agreed, but kinda rude.
Have you heard of a guy called Plantar?
No, that name means nothing to me.
Do you know a man by the name of Khan?
No, I don't.
It's very important I get to see him, and
I told you, I don't know it.
do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
No, I never saw it.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Hard labor.
I don't want to know where the sheep is.
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
No.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Are you serious?
Oh, yes. Take a good look at the substance it's smeared with.
You are sick. Very sick.
Tissue will break this case.
Will you shake my hand?
Are
This
you
could break
joking?
something.
Who knows where it has been?
You know, if he's carrying around that tissue, that's not a bad reaction. I don't think we can go anywhere. Yeah, there's nowhere else left to go but the alley, so let's actually go in here and see what else. Oh, we can't use the phone for anything.
Ali, going to Ali seems a good opportunity to get mugged.
I mean, see, there was a part of me that was thinking maybe if we showed the sewer key to the guy on the left, he would have brained us with it.
Yeah, well.
So, what do we have here? We have a key. We have a ledger. We have the concierge, or just attendant. I'm not sure what that title is. Guy reading a paper. And I think it's a woman playing a piano. Let's see. Up. Going up just takes us in here where we can see 2 doors we can interact with. The odds being that this key over here opens up on those 2 doors. Before we harangue those 2, let's see what we can do over here first.
There was no one registered under the name of Khan. If the killer was staying here, he'd used a different pseudonym. I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
I mean, kind of. I've seen what people are like when they get into hotels, whether they're cheating on their spouses or not.
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so. Do you know a man named Plantar?
No, monsieur.
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
I already did.
Alors, you know I am telling the truth. May Saint Armand strike me down if I lie.
Uh-huh.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his right cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
Well,
What do you make of this tool?
Stunning, monsieur. I bet you handle it like a professional.
he's one step away from going, now go away or I shall taunt you a second time, isn't he?
Feels that way.
Do you recognize this red nose?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is.
You know, a plastic baggie would not go amiss with that thing. Just saying.
Oh yeah, we
Shake
don't know
my
exactly
hand.
where it's
I'd
been.
rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Wonder if the costume shop owner was here.
Or at least one of their clients were.
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have. Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England, Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
This game is not sponsored by Marks and Spencer, as far as I know.
Marks and
Do
Spencer's
you recognize this man?
expensive.
He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Have you any idea what this tool might be used for?
I cannot guess.
Would it mean anything if I told you it was for lifting drain covers?
Such technology fills me with wonder.
Just everybody being snarky with him.
Yeah.
What does this clown's nose suggest to you?
In my country, we have no use for clowns.
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleansing.
What about the mimes? Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mime-free.
Sounds like heaven.
I mean, that's one way.
Does this goo-smeared tissue mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
What would you call it, goo smeared?
May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Now, that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there. Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Well, maybe she'll be a little nicer. I doubt
Hi
it.
there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
She's interesting.
Yeah.
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
She does have a point. But I'm pretty sure those two are gangsters.
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
She's not being subtle in the least.
Not at all.
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian chieftain?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organises fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
And who didn't see that coming?
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. A wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
We're gonna regret asking, aren't we?
Good chance we will.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
I mean, you know, it's just... This lady's not scary in the least.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Merlin, you say?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
When did you
I
last
bet you
see
would.
Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would. Can you think of any use for this tool, ma'am?
I can think of someone I'd like to use it on.
Fair enough.
Do you know what this is?
At a guess, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise by a vicious killer.
Ah, Mr. Merlin, perchance.
That's him. Does this tissue mean anything to you?
I'm no shrinking violet, but that object makes me feel quite queasy.
I just couldn't bring myself to use the buzzer on this dear lady.
I'm not gonna say it.
Howard.
Okay, fine. I think she'd be into that.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You were trying to steal that key, no?
No.
Borrow.
way.
Just borrow.
Hey, ne touche pas!
Just looking.
We just wanted to borrow it.
There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin.
What now, monsieur?
I believe Khan, the man with the scar, is also known as Merlin, the man who has taken room 22.
What of it? What do you want?
Access to his room.
Do you have a license, monsieur?
Huh?
A private investigator's license?
Well, not exactly, but I can explain everything.
I am sorry, but without credentials, I cannot help.
I insist you give me the key to Merlin's room.
I cannot do that, monsieur.
This guy Merlin is a menace.
So you say, monsieur.
He's not only a danger to society, but to your guests as well. He has toyed with the affections of Lady Piermont.
Ciel! Are there no depths to which he will not sink?
Precisely. He's already killed once, twice, maybe as many as 3 times. With your help, I just might be able to stop him.
But what if he finds out I have helped you? No, I cannot do it.
About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No, the guests checked out this morning.
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
Somebody's gonna get mad about that.
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats.
Well, we seem to be getting closer to getting inside room 22 over there, but we're not quite there yet. Now that we've confirmed where this guy is staying, maybe someone else will be able to help us out. But we will figure that out next time, because it is time to take a break. So until then, take care everyone.
Later, folks.